as you get older, your body tends to stiffen up. The hips get tight, the back gets tight, but it doesn't have to be that way. If you want to keep moving, every once in a while, get in some mobility work. Today, 20 minutes to fix what's tight and keep you moving for this week of training. If you've never been here before, this is the 5 a.m. Squat Club. We're a community of busy dads who want more out of our lives. We get up together, we prime our minds, we move our bodies, we make progress in our lives before our kids wake. If you're ready, let's go. All right, so step one here on our full morning routine on the 5 a.m. Squat Club is a squat. We get down, hips, feet underneath the hips, heels on the ground, and if you feel like you're gonna fall over backwards, you could grab onto a counterbalance in the form of some sort of weight, or a critter who doesn't know personal space. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna set our breathing and set our intentions for the day with some box breathing, 4 seconds in, 4 second hold, 4 seconds out, 4 second hold, and what we call mental reps. So follow the breathing, and I'm gonna go through our mental reps here. The first one is I am responsible. It just means, if you've read Jocko Willink's Extreme Ownership, like I'm gonna take accountability for my life. Even if it's not my fault, it's my fault. And therefore, I have control over the outcomes in my life. But if it's bad, it's on me. If it's good, it's on me. I will take accountability and responsibility. Next, I will make time between stimulus and response. And that's just making sure that the people around me aren't getting a reactive snap judgment or reaction, that they're getting something thought through and, that I'm going to be proud of, the response that I'd like to give. Next is I have all I need to succeed today, and we'll focus on progress over perfection. We look at our goals as far off and, potentially impossible, because we think that goals are achieved through one big step, one big moment of clarity and action, where it's not like that at all. It's really going to come from small action steps over time, done repeatedly over and over and over again. So if I can focus on that, just a little bit of movement forward, a little bit of progress, then I know that I can get there if I just keep working. And then the last one is I choose gratitude. Through this process of self-improvement and pushing ourselves and working on finding our weaknesses and filling them, it's easy to get caught up in the negative and not see the things that are already good and the things that are positive and the things we want to see more of. So if we do that, if we focus on the things that are positive, we will see more of them and see less of the negative. All right, mindset is primed, step one complete. Now it's time to get moving. So, it may seem redundant, but we start every day doing the same movement. It's a reflection of getting up out of bed early. We take that a step further and get up off the floor. So we're gonna go 2 minutes here, first thing, just laying down all the way on the ground and then getting ourselves all the way back up. Called a burpee. At the top, celebrate with a hop and clap overhead because you can do it. You can walk yourself down to the floor nice and slow. You can crawl it up, crawl it down. You can hop, whatever you're feeling here. Speed it up as you go over the 2 minutes. But this should just be our initial warm-up. You're starting to feel the heart rate come up a little bit, the breathing rate come up a little bit. The joints should start to feel a little bit more lubricated, a little less stiff, a little less tight. And this is the first step in opening it up, warming it up, so that we can get into good positions for our active recovery session today and come out feeling like $1,000,000 as opposed to a stiff old man. So 2 minutes here, just moving. Once again, you can increase the pace as you want if you'd like, but we've got a full kind of general warm up after this, so no rush. We'll ease in this morning, turn it up slowly, have a great session, and then we'll make sure we do our homework to take action on our goals afterwards. So, let's keep moving through that. And if you're here with me in the chat or on the replay, let me know, what time did you get to bed? Because that is the key. Starting to think more and more that that is the key that unlocks whatever you want, right? If we're gonna get up early in the morning and be productive, effective, efficient with our fitness and our goals, and we can't be going to bed late, because you may be able to get up early once or twice or 3 times while you're going to bed late, but eventually we will fall off and won't be able to maintain that because we need to sleep. So, all right, next portion of the warm-up, our general warm-up here. Good morning, Yaroslav, Equipment, and Jody. We're gonna go with some jumping jacks, but if you don't like jumping first thing in the morning, standing march is great. So, as I said, I think I got to bed, it was about 8:45 last night, which is pretty close to the goal. You know, somewhere between 8:30 and 9 is kind of when I aim to get to bed. That way you can get, 8 hours by 5 o'clock or 4:30. Slept very well. Excited about active recovery day, to be honest. Feeling a little stiff from the week, which is typical. And then Sundays, active recovery day, tend to bring it back together, get us feeling good for the week. All right, next warm-up movement, we're gonna go with an inchworm. So take the feet out wide, bring the hands to the floor, walk yourself out until the shoulders are over the hands, squeeze the butt, squeeze the abs, squeeze the legs, find a tight, hollow body position, and then we'll walk it back, and then stand up in between. Let's get at least 5 cycles here. Nothing wrong with doing more. Yaroslav says 10 p.m., 8 out of 10. Not bad. That's still probably less sleep than I would aim for, but you're doing it. You're consistent. So getting 5 here. We're gonna be opening up the hips today. Getting upside down a little bit as well. Working on some proprioception. Stick around, we've got a great one. I'm looking forward to it. Challenging ourselves with that horse stance again as well. The one that I tend to struggle with. So, not necessarily just like an easy stretch. Active recovery and mobility is still going to be some work. Just leaving us feeling better than we started though. All right, from there, next one, we're gonna take one foot outside the hands from that plank position, and then we're gonna drop the elbow that's closest to that front knee down towards the ground, as close as you can get it to the ground. Feel free to take a big breath in there, and then exhale, reach. You can inhale, elbow to the floor. You'll notice the bigger the inhale, the more you feel a stretch in the hips there. Even this warm-up alone will leave the hips and back feeling better than when we started. So even just coming in and moving the body without doing the full active recovery workout, still, you're gonna take away mobility and feel good. We're gonna switch sides here if you haven't. You'll also notice that if you keep that back knee off the ground or take it off the ground when you twist, you'll get a little more out of it as well in that back hip flexor. So at least 5 here per side. Focusing on the breathing a little bit. Oh yeah, loosening up those hips. Big breath, drop in the chest, and twist. All right, from there, we're gonna hop up, we're gonna swing a leg. So go ahead and grab the wall if you'd like, or stand freestanding. Whew. And just let that hip swing a little bit. You don't need to push the range of motion, especially if it's feeling stiff or tight. Let's just get 10 cycles there, trying to keep the torso tall. Just letting her swing a little bit, loosen her up. Good morning, Ryan. How you doing? Starting to feel better? We'll switch sides here, and I think we'll also get a side-to-side swing. So still going forwards, backwards here, just with the other hip. Oh, that's tight. It's okay to feel tight. Just stay kind of just outside that range of motion. Feel the stretch without pushing it. As we ease in here, we'll get further ranges of motion. All right, we're gonna add another swing here today. We're gonna face the wall, and we're gonna swing across the body just to get an extra opening of the hips before we go here. Try not to kick the dog. You'll kick my dog. Switch sides. Starting to like Sundays more and more for active recovery day. I used to kind of dread this day because it wasn't as exciting and wasn't as fun. But maybe I'm getting old. I'm really starting to look forward to that. All right, next one, we're gonna come down into our squat, our passive squat, feet underneath the hips, and then just drop it all the way down. And this could be all you want. If it is and you're uncomfortable here, grab a weight, hold it in front. Otherwise, we're gonna grab the toes with the hands, the big toes that is, pull the chest up nice and proud. Hey, good morning, Jason. And then after you've pulled and pulled the chest up for a second or two, drop the chin, drop the chest, raise the hips. Find some tension in those hamstrings. Maybe pump them out a little bit. And then drop the hips back down, pull the chest and head back up. Nice and proud. Should feel some tension in the low back here potentially. Not a bad thing. And then we'll reverse it again. Chin down, chest down, hips up. Find those hamstrings. We'll get at least 3 or 4 cycles here. I'm starting to get sweaty, so we're doing it right. I think last week on Active Recovery Day, we skipped this portion and we just kind of went straight into it. So we're getting an extra warm up here today before we get into it. All right. We'll get one with the PVC here, and then we'll talk about today's 5 movements. So grab that PVC or a broomstick or a hockey stick, take a nice wide grip, and then with a straight arm, let's bring it overhead and behind us. Just moving up and down between the shoulders and below the shoulders, above and below, above and below. Should feel some good tension across the front of the chest. You can do this kind of single arm, opening up overhead as well. Thanks for hitting those reactions, team. If you appreciate this, hit that thumbs up button. If you really like it, consider joining the YouTube community or checking out the merch on the website. First link in the description. Looking forward to seeing that t-shirt, Ryan. Before it gets dirty. At least that'd be the case for me. All right, shoulders are feeling a little bit looser. Let's talk about our 4 or 5 movements here real quick. Ooh, that's not pretty. Put them there. All right, so 5 movements this morning, 2 minutes each, 2 rounds. So we're gonna get each movement for 4 minutes over the course of this 20. 5 movements are, number 1 is gonna be a horse stance. So we're coming to a wide stance with the feet, knees are in line with the feet, and we're just gonna try to hang out there. That's too wide for me as my knees are not. There we go. Something like that. We'll break it up. I won't hang out for the whole 2 minutes because that's gonna crush me. Number 2 is a headstand. Hands go on the ground, head goes out in front, and I'm gonna go over this one more time, so don't you worry. And then step 1 could be try to put your elbows on your knees on your elbows, and then step 2 could be coming up into that headstand. And we're just gonna hold for as much of those 2 minutes as you kind of want. or leg. The next one is very similar to our horse stance, but we're getting lower and shifting. We're gonna go with a Cossack squat. So wide stance again. You're gonna shift over to one side, keeping that heel on the ground, trying to get into a full squat. The other heel can come off the ground if you want, but just keeping that knee in line. And then we can shift and we'll go back and forth. You can hold a counterbalance out in front if you feel like you're gonna fall over on that one as well. Next, plank to crab. Start in a plank position, take the right hand and left foot off the ground. Bring that foot through, come to that crab position, and then back. And then you can alternate, lift the left hand and right foot, come into that crab, and then back to the plank. Just alternating, moving around in space a little bit. And then the last one is a rotation. You can do this with a dumbbell or with like a little steel plate and just some form of turn. Squeezing the abs, driving through the hips, just getting a little bit of rotation here. Kind of like you're swinging a golf ball or hitting a baseball or throwing something, getting some anti-rotational torque there as well. So take a couple minutes, set up what you need. We are gonna brief this again. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already, team. Let's do it. Why are you upside down? Hey. Okay. If your body feels stiff and beat up from a long week of training, this is what you need. 20 minutes full body recovery, slow it down, fix those tight hips and low back. Let's get after it. All right, team, as we're getting older, we need to start taking more care of the tension and not just working hard every day. So we've got 5 movements today, 2 minutes at each movement, twice. So we're gonna end up with a total of 20 minutes moving through those each 2 times. 5 movements are horse stance, handstand, Cossack squat, plank to crab, and then some sort of dumbbell or plate rotation. Let's go through all of them. I'll talk scaling options. So the first one is the horse stance. You're gonna come to wider than your squat stance. Shove those knees out hard so they're in line with the feet. And we're gonna hang out there. It's gonna open the hips. It's gonna strengthen the legs around the hip. Break that up as needed in that 2-minute window. Number 2, obviously if you need to scale it, just take smaller sets. Movement number 2 is gonna be our headstand. And I'll give you some scaling options here too. Hands go on the floor, about shoulder width, outside of shoulder width. Head goes on the floor in front of the hands. Hips come up. You can first step, just put the knees on the elbows and hang out there. If that feels pretty good, you could go ahead and take the feet straight up, trying to keep the body in a nice tight, straight line. Legs, abs, and butt squeeze. From there, we've got our Cossack squat. So it's basically a moving horse stance. You're gonna come to a slightly wider stance with this one, and we're shifting side to side. We're gonna come down into a squat on that single leg, and then on the other one. And what you can do if you feel like that's too challenging, hold a weight out in front as a counterbalance. Movement number 4 is a plank to crab. So we're just moving through space here. This one's all about just body control, body awareness. We're gonna go from a plank position, take one hand and one foot, the opposite off the ground. That was not it. So like right hand and left foot, or left hand and right foot. And then you come back to that plank. Same thing on the other side, right hand, left foot, into my crab position, and then back to the plank. And we're just rotating around there for that 2-minute window. And then your last one is some sort of rotation. So you can grab some weight or not. Set yourself in a controlled shoulder width stance. And we're just rotating, basically driving with the hips, keeping the abs tight, just like you were hitting a golf ball or a baseball. Creating some rotation, making sure we're not always moving forwards, backwards. So 2 minutes per movement. Just do as much as you can or want in that 2-minute window. And we've got 5 movements, 2 sets each. Let's look at this here. So we're gonna go 10 intervals of 2 minutes. All right. Let's get her started here, team. We're ready. Starts with the horse stance. Excuse me, this looks bad. Alright, team. Horse stance is first. Try to do as much of that 2 minutes as you can or want, I guess. 5, 3, 2, 1. So come on down. Think about keeping those knees in line with the feet. Don't forget to count out the 10s and 20s on those headstands. I'll do my best to count out the time on the headstands. This is the one that's the challenge for me. They're all challenging. Keep pressing those knees out. Try to stay right around parallel. That's 30 seconds. Wow. 45. Take a little break and then do another one. Loosen up those hamstrings. That's 1 minute. So take a break if you need it and then come back in. Focus on the breathing and just focus on driving the knees apart. Ah, my goodness. Woo, I gotta do more of those. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. All right, we're shifting to our headstand in 10. 5, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead. 10. 20. Can't really see that though. 30. Just focus on pressing through the floor, breathing, squeezing the abs and butt. Point the feet. That's 40. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me, and what was left over I put towards my 50. But the only thing in life that has meaning is pushing into my head. That's 1 minute. Feel free to take a break and go back in. See. Take a cold shower, scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder, and all the doubters, they're just your downers. It's 1:20. God, they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these clowns. 1:30. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. 1:40. That's 1:45. 50. All right, we're going to our Cossack Squat here. 5, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead. So nice wide stance. Too wide there. And try to come into a squat on one side. You want to make sure that that foot is still in line with your knee is in line with your foot. That other heel can come off the ground if you want. Just make sure that the supported heel is pressed down with the knee in line with the foot. Hi, dog. I'm cheating, holding on to the dog. Cheating. Whoa, that side's tight. That's 1 minute. Forty seconds left. Oh, back's tight. We got our plank to crab next after this. I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of 20 seconds. Had to work hard, struggled to be me. Had to rise up just to see me. 10. Plank to crab is next, Maple. No, let's not do this. 3, 2, 1. Take into your hands a plan, your own hands can land your own brand. I feel like no. So taking the opposite hand, opposite foot off the ground, so left hand, right foot, sweep the foot through, and then come back. Left hand, or left foot, right hand, and back and forth. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. Try to just keep moving on this one. You can alternate or stay on the same side for a few. What's happening, dog? Oh, this one's tiring. Opening up the wrists a little bit, opening up the shoulders. You can press the hips up to a tabletop. Hang out there. got heart? Are you mean? Got some scars, got some needs. Are you willing to go bleed? 30 seconds. I know, Maple, I know. This is very exciting. 15 seconds. Alright, 3. We're going rotations. 2, 1. Keep the abs tight, and you're thinking about driving with the hips, and then resisting as we start to rotate, so we don't let this thing pull us around. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me. And what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life 1 minute that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan, your own hands can land your own brain down. I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Keep it up. Take a little break if you need it.
Scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder, and all the doubters, they're just your downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always thought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these clowns. Who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's not worth it if you work
20 seconds. And then we're going back through a second time.
I won't stop till they hear me.
Starting back at the horse stance.
I won't stop till I wear the crown.
10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Back to that horse stance. So wide feet, knees out in line with the feet. Drive them out, try to hang out around parallel.
When everybody wants to be king, yeah, they all wanna ring, yeah, we all wanna be free. So show me what you got, what you bring, how you fight in the ring, how you take a swing. Do you got heart, are you mean? Got some scars, got some needs, are you willing to go bleed? I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns. Who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop.
Keep it up, team.
Hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. I swear to God they all let me down.
It's 1 minute. Keep it up. Take a little break if you need. Whoa. Okay, back to it. Headstand is next. 35 seconds. 30. 20.
I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit.
10. Oh my God.
Had to work hard, struggle just to be
Headstand.
me. Had to rise up just so they could see me.
5.
Did what I had to do just to
3,
feed me, and what was
2,
left over, I put
1.
towards dreaming.
Headstand.
But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan, your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put
15, 20. I'm out of control. Jeez.
Scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder, and all the doubters, they're just your downers.
It's 30.
I swear to God,
Shouldn't have this hat on.
I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns. Who were all taught they deserve
40.
an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't
50.
stop till I wear the crown.
It's a minute. Oops. Minute 10. Now. Minute 20.
When everybody wants to be king, yeah, they all wanna ring, yeah, we all wanna be free. So show me what you got, what you bring, how you fight.
Minute 30.
How you take a fucking swing. Do you got heart? Are you mean? Got some scars, got some needs. Are you willing to go bleed? I swear to God they all
Minute
let me
40.
down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns. Who were all taught they deserve an ounce.
Minute 50.
Worth it if you work for it.
Cossack Squat is next.
Work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now.
3, 2, 1. Go ahead. Wide stance. Come on, Matt.
nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise
That's
up
1 minute.
just to see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me, and what was left over I put towards
Me
my
too, equipment.
dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands and plan your own hands.
50 seconds left. Keep it up. We're almost there. 2 more after this. 4 minutes.
Hours it takes to get some power. Don't be fucking sour. Take a cold shower. Scream until you're louder. Work until you're prouder.
30 seconds.
Doubters, they're just your downers. I swear to God, they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown.
Oh man,
Off at these fucking clowns.
we're sweating today.
Taught they deserve
Active
it.
recovery sweat.
It's only worth it if you
15.
work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they
10. And we're going plank to crab.
till I wear the crown.
3, 2, 1. So starting that plank position. Take one hand and the opposite foot off the ground. Sweep that foot through. Come to your crab position. And then reverse it. Then you can alternate there with the other hand and the other foot. Maple, no. And then just reverse it. Uh-oh. We're in lick mode now, eh, dog? Whoa, please don't do that. No. No, Maple.
I swear to God, they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only
Maple, no.
worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till
1 minute.
I won't stop till I wear the crown. I swear to God, they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. Off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hit me down. I won't stop till I wear the crown.
Keep working, team. Loosen up those shoulders, the hips, and the back. 30 seconds. Maple, stop. Sheesh, Maple. $15. Last one is the rotation.
Feel nauseous, believe me. Never
5,
had a lot of shit come easy.
3,
Had to work hard,
2,
struggle just to be
1.
Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me. And what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands or plan your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly I'm willing to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be fucking sour. Take a cold shower. Scream until you're louder. Work until you're prouder. And all those doubters, they're just your downers. I swear to God, they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown.
Woo!
Off at these fucking clowns.
Hitting home runs here.
We're all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.
1 minute.
I'm just telling you to fight for your dreams, but it's not what it seems when it's hard to be seen. When everybody wants to be king,
30 seconds.
wanna ring, yeah, we all wanna be free. So show me what you got, what you bring, how you fight in the ring, how you take a fucking swing.
20 seconds.
Heart, are you mean? Got some scars, got some needs, are you willing to go free? I swear to God, they all let me down. I grab a spot just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns. Who up top, they deserve it now.
5, 3, 2, 1.
It's only worth it if you work for it.
Look at that.
I won't stop till they hear me.
Who said that
I won't stop.
active recovery day needed to be benign? Oh. There we go. Oftentimes active recovery days, you know, seem boring and not fun. But look at that. Got a great sweat, 20 minutes done, and I feel fantastic coming out of there. Back feels good, hips feel good, ready to hit the next week of training. Subscribe if you enjoy this content, guys. Wow. I'd say that's the most out of breath that I've been from an active recovery day so far. I think that's success. Not back to bed, Jody. What are you talking about? I got some cute clips here today. All right, equipment. Feel free to lay on the floor and put your legs up the wall. You know the drill. Or let's do this. Let's do a straddle stretch. I definitely feel a lot of hamstring and adductor when we do that. What you call it? Cossack squat. So let's do this. Grab something to sit on if you need. I'm gonna use this sandbag probably. And we're gonna come into a straddle. So real wide feet. Maybe this is too high, but oh well. Sit on a couple bumper plates or a low ottoman or something. Maple stop. And then just take the legs out nice and wide. You could do the same thing laying with your back on the floor and your feet up the wall and then let the legs fall open. We're just opening up the hamstrings and adductors there a little bit. It was good, needed that, says Ryan. Fantastic. So as I was saying there, like I used to realistically before this, I used to avoid active recovery day. I would just take a rest day. And 2 reasons why I don't do that anymore. One, is all about this 5 a.m. squat club morning routine, consistent action, daily, everything, right? It's about not falling off, right? Not taking a rest day because I want to maintain this habit, because I want to make sure I do my homework and take action on my goals every day. But the second one is this makes me feel better than taking a rest day, right? Sitting around and whatever, laying on the couch for your rest day is not going to get the blood flowing through the muscles. It's not going to heal anything. It's not going to open up better ranges of motion. What we're doing here is literally creating better mobility, right? Being able to get into better positions with strength in those positions so that during the week when we're training hard, we're able to be more effective and efficient with what we're doing. So as I was saying, however, the first benefit of doing active recovery days, we're not stopping. We're not missing a day on our habits and the reason that that's important, one is it's easy to fall off, and 2, because this one habit, and 2, because this habit of exercise, of today active recovery is the prerequisite, is the habit that's stacked before the homework, right? And this homework is where we take our fitness and our health, and we take it a step further to work on whatever goals that we have that are important in our life. Be it being a better parent, building new skills, starting a new job or a side hustle, or anything that it is that you want to do in your life. We talk about it in the mental reps, progress over perfection. It just requires progress. If I can make 1% improvement or progress every day, I can make huge amounts of improvements over the years. So if I just sit down after this habit has happened, the stack is what allows me to do one thing after the other. After I exercise, after my mind is clear, then I go do my homework. Take an hour of action every day so that we always make that progress. All right, let's check out a couple clips here, team.
Really doing well
Look at this. The other day we were down at the Neighbours talking about getting some old hay for bedding, and they have some lambs, and they also have a little calf in the barn as well. I guess the calf's mother died, so they've been raising it with a bottle. And then these are their bottle babies. These are the ones that they deemed that mom was not going to raise, and then they raised them inside until they were a certain size. And now they're in the barn, but they're they're not with their moms because they weren't raised by their moms, and they're expecting now feed from humans. So the girls got very excited about that because they could actually pet these things, whereas our lambs, they won't be able to, at least after the first day, because they'll just be too fast. I think I have another one here for you. Oh, I lied. That's it. I only uploaded this one. But you can see pretty cute. And, you see why it'd be nice to maybe have bottle lambs, because you can pet them and they're like pets, but they don't know how to be the regular critters, right? If they were put out with the regular sheep, they wouldn't be so good at taking care of themselves because they're still relying on humans. So, not the method that we'll do, but very cute to go and see the little baby lambs and pet them and touch them as they try to eat your clothes and whatnot. All right, team. Active recovery Sunday complete. You guys have done incredible. And hopefully you're coming away from this feeling better than you came in. A little less stiff, a little less sore, a little more excited to do something hard and uncomfortable tomorrow. But before that, make sure that you go do your homework, right? Take this hour. Don't go and fall back asleep. Don't go and scroll on your phone. Take an hour. Do the work towards your most important goals, because that's the only way we're going to get there. We don't want to regret at the end of our lives. Jody said, I have a leg of lamb last night. So delicious. Fantastic. Happy Easter. You got it. You got it. So quick shout outs here. Jason was there for a second. Ryan, Yaroslav, Jody, equipment. She's been a slow morning, but you guys are killing it. You guys are fantastic. All right. So have yourselves a great Easter, and can't wait to see you all tomorrow. You just said everything I was going to do. Fantastic. Have yourselves a great day. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Peace.